Where do you live? Okay, in a home, on your street, in your neighborhood. But do you live in a city or in the country? Do you live near the coast or near the mountains or near a desert? In what country do you live? And on what continent is your country? Well, no matter where your home is, we all live on planet Earth.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine you're an astronaut. You're going to get to look at the Earth as only a few people have ever seen it, from far out in space. Your mission is to find out why Earth is the only planet where life exists, as far as we know. All kinds of life.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1, and liftoff.
It's not going to be easy. Mission Control has some tough questions like,
Is the Earth moving? What is the Earth made of? And why is there life on Earth?
we'll begin our journey with a view of Earth that looks very different from what we see here on the ground. So get ready. It's time to learn all about the Earth. In 1968, Apollo 8 astronauts were assigned a special mission. They were to travel to the moon and back. Humans had been in space before, but no one had ever traveled to the moon. Their mission turned out to be a success. Plus, they got to see something that no human being had ever seen. Planet Earth rising over the moonscape, looking like a beautiful blue and white swirled marble against the blackness of space.
What I keep imagining is if I'm a traveler from another planet, what I think about the Earth from this altitude. Whether I would land on the blue or the brown part of the Earth. You better hope we land in the blue part.
Our Earth and Moon are part of our solar system, a system of planets and moons which travel around the Sun. This is where we live. We are the third planet from the Sun. And this is our Moon. See how close it is to us compared to the rest of the planets? The path Earth takes around the Sun is called an orbit, which is not quite a circle, but is slightly oval-shaped. It takes Earth just over 365 days to travel around the Sun just once. We call this 1 year. Some planets complete their orbits quicker than Earth, and some take longer. But you'll see how being third from the Sun makes Earth the special planet that it is.
Earth's circumference, the distance around the world, is 40,074 kilometers. That's about 24,000 miles long. So, if Fido were to walk around the Earth's equator without stopping, it would take him just over a year and a half to do so. Without any breaks.
We can see the Sun rising in the east and setting in the west. However, the Sun isn't really moving around the Earth. Actually, it's the Earth that's moving. To us, the ground feels perfectly still. But really, we are all just passengers on the surface of a spinning Earth. A make-believe line runs through the middle of Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole. This make-believe line is called an axis. Earth spins on its axis like a top. Scientists call this spinning movement rotation. Now you may have noticed that all globes of the Earth are tilted. That's because Earth's axis is tilted, not straight up and down.
It takes 24 hours for the Earth to spin all the way around. That is, to make one whole rotation. That's why there are 24 hours in one day. As Earth rotates, one side of the Earth faces the sun, while the other side faces away from the sun. When your side of the Earth faces the sun, it is day. When your side of the Earth faces away from the sun, it is night. So when kids in America are in school, kids in China are asleep.
So now we know that the Earth's rotation causes day and night. But what about summer and winter? What causes the Earth's seasons? Seasons are the result of two things: the orbit of the Earth around the sun and the tilt of the Earth's axis, which always stays at the same angle. When the top half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, and places like the United States, England, and Russia are having summer, the bottom half of the Earth is tilted away from the sun, and places like South Africa, Argentina, and Australia are having winter. 6 months later, the Earth has orbited to the other side of the sun. Here, the top half of the Earth is tilted away from the sun, so it has winter, and the bottom half of the Earth is tilted toward the sun, and it has summer. A bicycle is made up of many parts. These parts fit together into a system, just as all the parts of the Earth are a system. The bicycle wheels, frame, handlebars, and all the other parts fit together, and then work very well to give the rider a smooth and fast ride. Like a bicycle, Earth is also made up of many parts, which have the right conditions for life to thrive. This life-sustaining system on Earth is very different from all the other planets in our solar system. For example, we have an atmosphere with oxygen to breathe. We have good soil to grow food. We have sunlight and temperatures that are not dangerously hot or cold. And we have lots of water, which every living thing needs. All of these conditions are part of Earth's system and are very important to making Earth work.
How does land, water, atmosphere, and sunlight come together in just the right combination for living things to survive? Let's make a biosphere, a model of Earth's system. You'll need an empty 2-liter soda bottle cut in half with the cap on, garden soil, a small amount of water, fast-growing seeds like grass seeds, and a roll of clear packing tape. Fill the bottle about 1/4 full of soil. Then, spread around a small amount of seeds on the top. If the soil is very dry, add a small amount of water. Next, seal the soda bottle with clear packing tape. You have completed your biosphere. Now place it on a windowsill in the sunlight. Check out your biosphere a week later. Has anything happened? Green plants contain a chemical called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll traps light, which combines with water and air to help make plants grow. This process is called photosynthesis. This small piece of earth in a bottle shows how light, water, and air work together to make life grow. Did you know that scientists can do these same kinds of experiments? Except their container is gigantic. Meet Biosphere 2, a huge enclosed structure in the Arizona desert. This biosphere contains all kinds of landscapes that represent Earth. From a desert to a rainforest to grasslands. There's even a mini ocean. So just like you learned how Earth works as a system, scientists are studying it too, learning all about how our planet works and how to keep it healthy.
While Earth journeys through space, a special blanket of air called the atmosphere covers our planet, protecting us. The atmosphere is sort of like an invisible ocean made of air. It has waves and currents, and it flows all around the planet. Scientists divide our atmosphere into 4 main layers. The bottom layer of air is called the troposphere. This is where we live and where our weather takes place. The next layer up is called the stratosphere. Many jet planes fly at the bottom of this layer to avoid the weather. The stratosphere also lets most of the sun's healthy rays in and keeps the unhealthy ones out. It acts sort of like a super-strength sunblock. The next layer is called the mesosphere. This layer protects us from meteoroids, which are pieces of rock or metal flying through space. The last layer of our atmosphere is called the thermosphere. It's the largest layer and goes all the way to outer space. Space shuttles fly way up here, providing us with weather, protecting us from dangerous sun rays and meteoroids. These are important things, but the most important thing about the atmosphere is it provides us with the air we breathe, something we can't live without.
Space Shuttle Discovery to Mission Control. We're passing over Madagascar now. Looks like a big brown patch in the middle of a sea of blue.
The reason the Earth looks so blue from space is because most of its surface, about 2/3, is covered by water. In fact, it's the only planet in the entire solar system with liquid water on its surface. Water is very important for life as we know it to survive. It is necessary for all living things. Not only do we drink it, but many creatures also use it as a home or as a place to play. Water is everywhere, in the oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams. It's also in the air, as water vapor.
Water is like a magic act. It can disappear and reappear right before your eyes. When water gets really, really hot and starts to boil, it disappears or evaporates into the air. It is turned into steam or water vapor, which is not a solid like ice, not a liquid like water, but instead a gas. Now, if you want to turn the steam back into water, put the lid back on the pot. Presto! The evaporated water collects at the top of the lid, cools down, and turns back into water drops. This is called condensation. The same thing happened with your homemade Earth system biosphere. You probably noticed condensation on the inside of the bottle. The sunlight warmed the water just enough for it to evaporate into the air. When it reached the top of the bottle, which was cooler than the bottom, it turned back into water droplets and began dripping down the inside of the bottle and back into the soil.
Sunlight, air, water, evaporation, and condensation. This is why we have weather. In nature, water, warmed by the sun, evaporates and collects in the clouds. Then the water vapor mixes with the cooler air, turns back into water droplets and falls as rain, or sometimes as snow. All weather takes place in the lowest layer of the atmosphere called the troposphere. Rain, snow, wind, clouds, and hot and cold temperatures. Weather varies from place to place and can change from hour to hour. It is monitored all the time. Scientists called meteorologists observe and predict the weather in a variety of ways. Weather satellites keep a 24-hour watch on the world's weather. A satellite is an object that circles or orbits the Earth from space. Our moon, which constantly orbits the Earth, is a natural satellite. But weather satellites are built by humans and launched to the very top layer of our atmosphere called the thermosphere. These satellites take pictures of cloud patterns and storm systems. They also record data about wind, temperature, rainfall, and snow cover. They are valuable because they can detect early on when bad weather such as a hurricane is coming our way. Weather satellites are just one of the many different kinds of satellites that orbit Earth in the upper atmosphere. Navigation satellites send signals to airplanes so they know where they are in the air. Communication satellites send TV, telephone, computer, and radio signals all over the world. And space telescopes help scientists learn about the planets in our solar system and other faraway space objects.
Mission control to Shuttle Discovery. Flight director says you are go for re-entry into atmosphere.
Shuttle Discovery to mission control. Roger that. Preparations for re-entry complete. We are ready to head home. Did you know that it's possible that the land on Earth once fit together like a giant jigsaw puzzle? Scientists believe that over 200 million years ago, the Earth's continents were joined as one huge piece of land. If you look at the continents from space, or on a globe, you can see how Europe and Asia, Africa, North America, and South America could fit together like puzzle pieces. But the pieces have all separated and now form the different continents we know today.
We've checked out Earth from high up in space. Now it's time to get down in the dirt and dig deeper. Just as the atmosphere is made of layers, the inside of Earth is made of layers too. The very center of the Earth is called the inner core. It's a tightly packed solid ball of metals, thousands of degrees hotter than here on the surface. On top of that layer is the outer core. This layer is also made of metals, except it's in a liquid form like hot lava from a volcano. On top of that is the mantle, a very thick layer of rock. And on top of that is the crust. This layer is very thin. The crust is broken into large pieces called plates. The crust is covered with rocks, clay, sand, and soil. This is the part we walk on. The crust is where plants of all kinds grow using water and food from the soil. The sun, at the center of our solar system, may look like it's pretty close, but it's really 150 million kilometers away. That's 93 million miles. That sounds really far, but it's okay. Because if the Earth were any closer to the sun, temperatures would be so hot that everything in sight would melt. Plus, the heat from the sun would warm up the oceans so much that they would boil and evaporate. And if the Earth were much farther from the sun, not only would temperatures be way below freezing all the time, but our oceans would get so cold they'd freeze solid. So you see, our distance from the sun, 93 million miles away, is just right. The sun also provides us with just the right amount of sunlight, which green plants need for energy to grow. Plants provide food for many animals, including us. We also get our food from animals that eat plants, like ice cream that's made from cow's milk. So you see, everything works together. The sun, water, air, soil, plants, and animals. That is why life can survive here on Earth.
Mission Control to Discovery. You are on course and are go for landing.
Discovery to Mission Control. We have the runway in sight.
Well, we've gotten a good look at planet Earth. Did we find out the answers to all of our questions?
Is the Earth moving?
Even though the sun looks like it's moving across the sky, it is really the Earth that is moving. Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. When your place on Earth faces the sun, it is day. When your place on Earth faces away from the sun, it is night.
What is the Earth made of?
The Earth is made up of layers. 4 main layers lie beneath our feet: the crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core. Above the Earth is a protective blanket of air called the atmosphere. That too can be divided into 4 main layers: the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and the thermosphere.
Why is there life on Earth?
Sun, air, water, soil, plants, and animals. This is the system that makes our planet work. The sunlight warms and lights up the Earth. Air, the atmosphere, protects the Earth from the harsh rays of the sun, allowing in just enough heat and light to support life. Most of the Earth's surface is covered with water. The soil is necessary for plants to grow, and many animals eat plants for food. All these parts of the Earth system fit together to work very well. Earth is the perfect home for living things.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shuttle Discovery to Mission Control. We have touchdown. We are deploying drag parachute now.
Mission Control to Discovery. Roger. Nice job, gang. Welcome home to Earth.